I'm a right-sided hemiplegic, and I first got involved in the world of parasport when I was probably 11 years old. At a pretty young age, made my first Paralympic Games team in 2008, went to Beijing as a 14-year-old, and then again 4 years later at 18 for London 2012. I would say what I love most about running, just in general, is that for me it's always been kind of my escape. It's been my outlet. Running is something that allows me to take my abilities and work with them the best that I can. In the world of the Paralympics, it's amazing. Honestly, it gives so many people an opportunity to show the world what they've got. It's moving forward. It's come a long way. Even I look from my first games in Beijing in 2008 to now, the Paralympic movement has just exploded, which is amazing, and I hope it continues to do so. In 2012, I came in as honestly a veteran, which is kind of funny. At age 18, you wouldn't think so, but I had already been in a stadium, been in an Olympic stadium, had seen everything, and had experienced everything. And I was one of those people where they looked at me, Athletics Canada, I think kind of felt that I was ready to perform, and I thought I was ready to perform. My coaches thought I was ready to perform at that level that I knew I was capable of. I went into London feeling very confident, very strong, and sure of myself. So I had drawn lane 8 in London in the stadium, and often when you draw lane 8, you're running blind, and so that's something that had never bothered me. I ended up having a PB, a personal best, in the 300-meter portion of my 400-meter race. And for those of you that are runners, if you are in this room, then you'll know that that's never a good thing to have happen to you when you have 100 meters left to go. And so I hit probably the worst, ugliest, hardest wall of my life. The last 80 meters, I remember them. I couldn't feel any of my limbs. I was crying. That's how much energy I was losing. And I literally walked across the finish line, and that was the first time I had ever done anything like that. Had done it on the world stage at the biggest event in the world in front of 80,000 people in a stadium. It was heartbreaking. It was embarrassing, I would say, more than anything. My whole family was there to watch, and so that recovery process took a while. I feel that that is something that's important, that even if you do have an experience, a bad experience, that sometimes it is going to come up, and if it does again, you just go back to square one and you talk to people. That's the biggest thing, is for me, was talking to people and kind of not suppress those feelings, but allow them to be recognized and be like, this is okay, this has happened, but move forward as well. And so I felt that I needed to come back. I had unfinished business to do, and so 2014 was kind of a bridging working year. I moved to Guelph in May 2014, where I started working with Jason Kerr, who's my current coach. I owe everything and absolutely anything to him. He quite honestly brought a piece of me back to life, which is kind of very cliche to say, but I do mean that from the very bottom of my heart. He's done a lot more for me than I think he'll ever know. I actually saw a quote this morning, and it's, girls compete against other girls, but women empower other women. And I think that's something that we have to remember as females, is that we have so many things working against us, and just in general, and I think it's important to kind of all band together and stick together, and that's how we accomplish big things.